Hey YouTube, Matches 860. Smoking the Friday Savinelli, of course, with some John Patton's Dark Horse. Talk about Dark Horse in a little bit. First, I want to give a shout out. Smoking Essie 7887, Evan, was kind enough to give me a number of shout outs on a few different videos. And I discovered Evan way back in the beginning when I first got on YouTube, because he really cranks out the videos. And got to talking to him at one point and found out that his family has ties to my hometown in Massachusetts. And of course, if you watch Evan, he shops for some of his tobacco stuff at Watch City Cigar in Framingham, which I've been to a few times. And that was about 2 or 3 miles from where I grew up. Small world. Anyway, I'm going to put a link down in the cesspool there, and we will talk about Dark Horse, John Patton. Of course, I had heard so many reviews about Stormfront, and I had ordered some of that, you might remember, a little while back, and did a review on it. Very good stuff. And as I discussed Stormfront on Facebook, even some of the comments on YouTube said I should try Dark Horse. And I got so many of those referrals that I had to do it. When I bought Billy Bud from Cornell and Deal, I didn't know anything about cigar leaf, and I thought that it was actually going to give the blend a cigar-y flavor. And I found out with Billy Bud it really doesn't. It just gives it a nice body. It rounds out everything else that's in the blend. I've come to like cigar leaf so much that in my own blends I always add it, unless I'm doing an experiment with some Cavendish or something. Anyway, when the Dark Horse arrived and I opened the bag and took a smell of it, I knew I was in trouble. Pure tobacco smell, which is what I go for, no additives. And the range of the smell of different leaves goes from, using a musical analogy again, it goes from your bass notes up to your high notes. Just a beautiful odor. I knew I was in for a treat, so had my first bowl right after I got it. Liked it so much that I took it to work, which I'll do sometimes with a new blend. Take it for a test ride. And I really thought after the first day that Dark Horse was going to take over Haunted Bookshop as my everyday blend. Decided to give it 2 more days. Everything about it I liked. The only thing I found was that if I smoked it a little too aggressively, which I tend to do, the bottom of the bowl gets a little snappy at you. But that's nothing against the blend itself. The third day, I was really torn. And driving home, I was craving Haunted Bookshop. And I thought to myself, well, that's not good. I came to suspect that I wasn't getting the nicotine that Haunted Bookshop was delivering. So, for any of you out there that are looking for a fantastic blend without a lot of nicotine, you've got to try Dark Horse. I really tend to want a fair amount of nicotine, so there's probably very few people that agree with me, that would agree with me that there's not enough. Beautiful stuff. So I've decided I'm sticking with Haunted Bookshop. And Dark Horse is really good for when I get home in the afternoon and I want to wind down a little bit. I don't really need the nicotine at that point, so it works out really well. So I highly recommend it. Little preview as to what's coming up on 860. I hope to visit an old cemetery in the next 2 weeks. Cemeteries have always fascinated me. And I've had a lot of questions about burials during the colonial period and how they obtained the grave markers and just all sorts of questions that I've been researching for the past year. I thought I'd share them with everybody. It's just kind of a coincidence that I'm making this around Halloween. It won't be a scary video, though. It's more discussion. Also, I'll be talking about one of my blends that I make regularly now, with cigar leaf, of course. I've named a couple of the blends that I've made. I always name them after places from where I grew up. And this particular blend, I'll be giving an in-depth story about what's behind the name of it. Pretty interesting, really. So I'm really looking forward to doing both of those videos. Just a little update on our weather here in New England, Connecticut specifically. We've had a warmer than normal autumn so far. Haven't had to use the heat, which is a good thing. And we're about a week or two from peak color. So I'll be busy during that time taking some pictures of the foliage, I hope, if it doesn't rain. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. Thanks an awful lot for joining me, and we'll catch you the next time.